Day 10, and today is a bit of a null day. I went to see Oppenheimer last night, and it's a very long movie, and I wasn't home until 1 in the morning, and my son is sick today, so he's home from daycare, so basically not getting anything done. But I did get permission to go for a run, which was nice, so I can get this recorded as well. And the thing I wanted to talk about today is a blog post I wrote like some years ago. I don't remember when, and I don't even think it's on the internet anymore, but it was called The Stair Step Approach to Doing Push-Ups, and it was inspired by Rob Walling's stair step approach to bootstrapping. And basically like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I was 21, too fat to do a push-up, like one push-up, smoking too many cigarettes, drinking too many beers, and just really out of shape. And I wanted to get into shape, and I quit smoking and kind of started doing paleo, and I ended up having a popular blog about paleo in Denmark and stuff like that. But anyways, I wanted to do push-ups, but I couldn't even do one, and it just really bothered me. And I couldn't figure out how to do, how to get to 20 push-ups or whatever when I couldn't even do one, because it's not like, well, you do one today and then two tomorrow. But if you can't do one, like, what are you going to do about it? And I had tried like doing it on my knees and stuff like that, but I just never really found that it worked. Didn't really change anything. So I came up with the idea of using the stairs at our house. So I just kind of stood at the bottom of the stairs, and then I figured out like which step to put my hands on where I could do an actual push-up. And so my goal was to do 20 push-ups on the floor. So basically my approach was to say, okay, I need to find like an angle where I can do 20 push-ups now. So I almost stood all the way up, but then I could do 20 push-ups. And then I moved down one step the next day, and then I couldn't do 20. So then I did that until I could do 20. Then I moved down to the next step, to the next step, and to the next step. And it took like, I don't know, a month or two. And I could do 20 push-ups on the floor, because this method just worked. And that's obviously why it's called stair stepping. Yeah, I've just thought about this, like this analogy many times before. I love learning stuff that way, or kind of like acquiring new skills that way. Just doing something like really small that kind of seems stupid at the time. I think it's something similar that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, even though I haven't read that book. But I know kind of like the idea that you like flush one tooth, and that's how you get to like eventually flush all your teeth and make it a habit. The reason I want to talk about this is because I was talking about setting up these Google ads yesterday, and some people started tweeting at me saying, hey, all you should be focusing on is like conversion and stuff. You shouldn't really even look at like how many clicks you're getting and stuff. And I understand their sentiment, but I think they just didn't understand like basically what I was trying to do, my approach, because yeah, obviously I need to get signups and it needs to like convert into paying customers in order to be worth it. But to me, Google AdWords was like a really intimidating thing that I had never done before, and I had a lot of like limiting beliefs around, and just like, was mentally blocked on doing it because I just fundamentally did not believe it would work in any sort of way. But in order to even in order to get a sign up, so you need to create an ad and you need to have someone click it so they get to your website. But then you start thinking about, okay, but am I tracking it the right way? Do I have the right content on the website? Am I paying, the right price? Like all this stuff. And that's all the reasons you never start, because you're intimidated by it. So that's why I made it my goal I need to create a Google AdWords account, and I need to create some ads, and they're just going to go to the website. Like even the one that's talking about a specific, thing that should have its own page on the website is just going to go to the homepage right now, because I don't care what they do once they get to the homepage. All I care about is me kind of getting over the hump of creating an ad, you know, turning it on, paying money for it, sending traffic to the website. And I did that, and that was basically what I was celebrating yesterday on Twitter, was just like me doing this tiny act of creating an ad. So like, yeah, obviously the next step is going to be to actually do something with that traffic, but you know, so the way it felt to me, and I know it wasn't meant in this way, but the way the feedback I got on Twitter was kind of felt to me was like when you see a person that can't even do one push-up and you tell them, well, all you have to do is just make sure you do 20 push-ups a day. It's like, yeah, that's not very helpful. And yeah, again, I know that's not what people meant, but that's kind of how it came off across for me. And that's why I wanted to make this video as well, and kind of just clarify what my approach was. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope this sort of analogy is helpful to someone else. And if you can't do a single push-up, this method that I just described, it totally works. And once, like, when you're at a point where you can't do a single push-up, in a couple of months, like, getting to do 20 push-ups on the floor feels really good, and it's gonna kind of change how you see yourself. So I recommend doing that.